Happy Father's Day to all dads joining us today. We appreciate you because we know not every day is like a Hallmark card. But we did talk to a local man who has promoted the importance of fatherhood for years. Dennis Walton shares his inspiration and goals for helping make dads and families strong.
The fact that I had a mother and a father who loved me so much, that was like my inspiration to fatherhood. I think as a young person, you take for granted how valuable your parents are. I'm a 45-year-old man, and I still think about what would my dad say? Or when I do things, I think about would my dad approve of this? Like my dad loved me so much and I loved him so much that as a child, it made me feel like, man, when I have children, I want my children to love me the way I love my dad. Because that's how good it felt to love my father. You know, that it inspired me to want to be a father. And I wanted my children to feel the same way about me that I felt about my dad. My parents were no nonsense. They didn't play any games. My greatest fear was my parents. I didn't care about police. I didn't care about people in the streets. I just didn't want to disappoint my parents. And I think that that's very significant because if you look at the world today, you don't see children having that type of reverence for their parents today because society has kind of taken the parenting role away from the parent, and children are growing up through YouTube and through the television and through all of the outside influences that are in their lives. And that role from the parent has been hindered. Of course, with my children, I'm no nonsense. I love them dearly, and I enjoy and celebrate them when they do well. But also, I enjoy and celebrate when I have to correct them. You know, so you have to love the good and the bad when it comes with your family. Nurturing is not a term that's synonymous with men. Men are traditionally not even looked at as nurturers when they really are. And we have to promote that aspect of men because the perception of a man is the outdated perception. You know, the Al Bundy, dope, or the Homer Simpson with the big beer belly. And just all of these just negative images. We don't have the Ward Cleaver images anymore, or the Cliff Huxtables. You know, all of those positive images that promoted fatherhood. Now, if you look at the way that our society is, we have totally gotten away from lifting up a positive image of what it means to be a strong father. When you talk about nurturing, that is an example of watching men love their daughters and be there to protect their daughters, and that raw emotion, you know, where men are able to just let their guards down and just be that silly, fun dad. And if you also want to see the nurturing side of men, look at all of the men who are coaches. You know, the little league coaches, the football coaches, the basketball coaches, the baseball coaches. All of those men are men who love children. When we look at the images today, we have to restore the positive image of the man, and we have to restore the concept of what it means for men to be nurturers, men to have compassion, men having love, men just having genuine concern and being sincere with their connection to their children. And traditionally, the nurturing aspect of a man and the caring aspect of a man is not something that's even recognized by society. And people take for granted the natural emotion and connection that men have to their children. And I would say to all of the men who are fighting, who are really fighting to be in the lives of their children, don't give up. I know it's tough when you have been accused of something falsely, and and you can't be in the life of your child because of the courts, or you're going through a situation where you have a mother of your children who may not be cooperating with you, and she's posing every type of barrier. Men who are incarcerated, who are spending time in jail for frivolous things, or we have this issue of mass incarceration. A lot of these men are fathers. As we look at Father's Day, we have to see it as an institution. And men have to come together and support each other more than ever today. Our women have to support men more than ever today. If we can focus on the healing of a community through the reconciliation and healing of families, because the family is the first institution. If the family is fragmented, if the family is all over the place, then it's gonna be a reflection of our community. I think that the beauty of fatherhood is that men of all experiences, all backgrounds, have the opportunity to support and mentor and nurture each other. If you've been the worst father, you have something to offer because you can help another father not go through that same thing. If you've made mistakes as a father, you can help another father who's coming along not go through some of those same things. And then to all of the fathers who are very successful and who do have the beautiful families and the beautiful life, and they're able to have all of the experiences with their children, you have something to offer to men who are looking to accomplish that. Overall, what we're saying is that we need to let them know that they matter. And if we can continue to inspire fathers and motivate fathers to stay the course and to stay the distance, I think that's the greatest chance of us being able to save our children. You are somebody, and you are somebody that is very important to our society.
Dennis, thank you for being such a great leader in Milwaukee. And of course, happy Father's Day to you and all of our dads out there.